Hello, XTRL Cinema here with another Master Duel video. This time I am going to be using a Chaos Max version of my Blue Eyes deck. In this replay, my opponent is going to be going first. They're going to be using the Supreme King deck. Start off with the Foolish Burial, but my hand I could see what I was going to do first. With the Melody Awakening Dragon, I'll be able to send something away to get two more cards, but depending on what card I draw, it's most likely going to be the Blue Eyes that I send away. They ended up summoning one card with their Pendulum Summoning, getting a spell card. And after they used the field card, they ended their turn. Then I drew, but I don't remember what I drew into. You see, I drew in the Dragon Shrine. I used Melody Awakening first to send the Blue Eyes away. So I got Alternative and base Blue Eyes to my hand. And then I'm going to use Dragon Shrine to send Whitestone away, but first I summon Alternative to get rid of their one monster. Then I got rid of the second one, it's Succession Soul. After that, I got Blue Eyes back from the grave. And then I'm going to attack for the 3000 after I use Dragon Shrine. And send the Whitestone away. At the end phase, I'm going to send Abyss Dragon to the grave. Not the grave, I meant on the field. And then I got Chaos Form, and then I got Chaos Max to my hand. I set Ultimate Infusion down also, in case they did something so I could get hook out of Riot Geki. I ended up banishing my Return of the Dragon Lords to be able to save my monster. After they tried to summon with Monster Reborn, I used Ultimate Infusion to send it back to my deck. So that ended up screwing them over on both counts, me stopping two things that they wanted to do. So I chose to go for Tyrant Dragon. And then after Monster Reborn doesn't resolve, they use their spell card. They got something to their hand. And I believe they ended up summoning something, but then that's about all they could do. So I believe they ended their turn afterwards. After they summon those two monsters, see, they used the effect, get one more card to their hand. And then yeah, they ended their turn. Nothing else they could do. So I stopped them on two different fronts. So I drew into another Whitestone. I went into fusion summoning because I didn't know they had the grave effects or not. So just in case, to negate a grave effect that they may have, I banished the Abyss to gain 1,000 for all my monsters. And I ended up going for game, I believe it, because I had nothing they could do that could stop me, so I attacked for game with this. Yeah, so that was it for this duel. I'm going to be showing another replay video, since this one was short. So then I'm still going to be using the Chaos Max deck against, this was against Thunder Dragons. I don't remember who went first or not with this duel. But I drew into my hand and I pretty much saw what I was going to do. I was going to use training if I had to, but I was hoping to draw another card. But with successful throw, I could send Whitestone away to get rid of one of their monsters. That way I could get Abyss to the field again. They summoned the Colossus, so I couldn't add things from my deck to my hand. So I had to get rid of that before I could do anything. Let's see, I drew into a Bingo Machine Go. So yeah, I used the succession plan first, so I could use Bingo Machine Go afterwards. Then I got Blue Eyes to the field, and then I used Bingo Machine, and then it went off, so I was able to go for try to get Jet Dragon or Blue Eyes to the field. I ended up getting Blue Eyes. So I sent that away with trade in, but they had Ash Blossom, so that I can draw two cards. But with a BIS coming, I was going to be able to search for two cards after that all went through. So no matter what, I still had +2 to my hand by the time I ended my turn. So I attacked for 3K with my blue eyes. Got Abyss, and then I searched out for Chaos form. So I had Chaos Max in my hand. So for another Chaos, I went for Blue Eyes Jet Dragon for that added security. And then that was it for my turn. And then they ended up using their fusion card. Then, so they got out their monster, the Dragon Titan. And then they used a hand effect. They got They are changing their effects. I don't remember what that effect did. I'm not too familiar with Thunder Dragons. I don't face them too often. I got rid of my trap card. Got one card to the hand. And selling a card. The card they set it is what I believe is going to end up screwing them over in the end. Because it does more harm to them than it did to me. They got them one card to the hand. That will allow them to gain 500 extra attack for their monster. What happens later on in the duel was something I didn't realize. I could touch upon that more once we get to it, but I got a dragon. They went and attacked the Abyss afterwards. So then that was all they did for their turn. Let's see, then I ended up drawing into Media, so I was going to get rid of a card afterwards, but first I used Whitestone to get Blue Eyes back to my hand. And then I used that to get rid of Blue Eyes, so I had to keep Chaos in my hand. I use Chaos Max with Chaos Form. And Bounctionaires back to their deck after they gain the 500. See, I ended up sending Chaos Max because now I remember because I was going to search for another Chaos Max. And then here they use their skill drain. Like I said, that's going to end up messing them up more than it messed me up in the end. Because their effects, they had access to them. They could have did more. Then I went into, let's see. Yeah, I went into Galaxy as Prime here to have more attack, but then they used Solemn Warning. So then I used Chaos Max, so that way I can have another 4K to have more attack, so they couldn't get over. So as long as they didn't have anything they could do, then I was golden there because they only could gain the 500, which would have still been under 4,000 at this point. So with their turn, they would not be able to attack over because even if they had two in their hand, they would only be able to use it once per turn. So then they end up getting the Chaos Creator in the hand and summoning it. Whether it's in defense or not, it doesn't matter because of skill drain. So my effect wouldn't go through. But it wasn't too much. They were just going to get rid of it anyway to summon something else. But then again, two of their orbs into their hand. And it does this to get out there and one card to the hand, and they're going to end up getting the other fusion card to the field, the Thunder Dragon Colossus. So now they had two monsters in the field, but then they got rid of the Thunder Dragon Colossus to get another Thunder Dragon Titan, and then that's the end of their turn. Here coming up is where I referred to earlier with their orb, which I didn't know the effect worked that way, so that could have been a tough spot, but with Abyss in my grave, I wasn't going to be. What happened here was I did not realize that the 500 attack that it gained was permanent. So once their turn came around, they would use it again so they could get over Chaos Max Dragon. Because now they had 4100 attack. I mean, not 41, 4200. But I had Abyss in my grave and Ultimate Fusion in my hand, so I was able to. I knew I could get out whatever I needed to be stronger than theirs. See, I drew into. Actually, it's their turn. I wasn't paying much attention for a moment. They set a card. They went for their attack. to destroy my jet dragon. Then I used true light so I wanted to be able to have ultimate creature destruction on my field. So I summoned blue eyes and got it from my grave to the field. So now I wasn't having to worry about their back row because I would be able to protect Tyrant Dragon once I summon them. So first I use Return of the Dragon Lords. That way, if anything bad happens, I can always banish it. I use Ultimate Fusion now. And then I got out Tyrant. And afterwards, I'm going to use True Light again to get another Blue Eyes to the field. So that way I could banish Abyss. Because I wasn't able to use Abyss's effect unless Blue Eyes was on the field or in the grave. So I ended up banishing Abyss to gain everyone 4,000. I attacked over now because now mine was stronger. And then I ended up attacking with everyone, and they had nothing else they can do. So that was ended up being it for game. And yes, that was it for that duel. So yeah, with this video I decided to use Chaos Max. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope everyone has a nice day, and next time will be the normal Blue Eyes deck that I'm going to be using. Goodbye and have a nice day again.